Hey everyone, welcome for another episode of the Puppet Podcast. Hey, grab a seat. Have your just a little seat, a little time to calm down and see a wonderful episode. We are at episode 107 with the wonderful Misty Rosas. It will be so incredible to just get this, I would say, superstar. I feel I'm really glad and I really appreciate to meet wonderful artists. However, they are puppeteer artists, suit performer. They do this wonderful art that is bringing life to inanimate object, to those wonderful suits. So yeah, and before we go into the interview, I just want to let you know that we have our Patreon. That's this wonderful platform that help us to keep doing this. So if you want to have a look, we do workshop about puppetry on this. We do workshop about live streaming. If you want to do some workshop with other artists, children, whatever, you have project, we have plenty of resource about marketing and promotion. So have a look on our Patreon and feel free to join us. We have a wonderful workshop on the 18th with someone, Connor from Preventive Puppetry. So it will be really awesome. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, that was a little commercial. So now it's time to go into the interview. So ladies and gentlemen, please drum roll for the wonderful Misty Rosas.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yes, my name is Misty Rosas, and most often I'm, called a seat performer, but also a motion capture actor and a performance artist. So thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. I'm so curious also about those motion capture stuff, this CGI. I feel this topic went so often on the show. So I'm really happy that you accept the invitation, and we will discuss to clarify all of those nuances that we have in this field of suit performance and puppetry, and I'm really happy.
Oh, thank you so much. Again, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I want to ask you, and we go in deep question, but the first one is the why you cherish this art form, the full body suit performance. Why you enjoy this kind of performance, Misty?
Oh man, it started from even being a kid and watching the Muppet Show, knowing that they're not real. They're puppets, but they're talking and interacting, and I would just be obsessed, like watching them, and it's like, not even thinking that one day I would do, a performance art with puppeteers and puppetry and stuff. And then of course I saw Yoda, and same thing. I was just like, oh my goodness, that's just amazing. And again, that he's not real, but he's so real. He's there with Luke, and and I think too, I love it because of the variety. One moment I could be an old man Quill on Star Wars: The Mandalorian, and then 2 weeks later I could be a baby panda on the Jim Henson Company stage. So never a dull moment.
Yeah, this is so impressive because it's versatile and you have always a new challenge. But I want to know maybe a bit of your training, your background, how you arrive into this. Like, what is the field of study to become a suit performer?
I took my first gymnastics class when I was 2.5, and I loved it. And from 2.5 until I was 18 years old, gymnastics and dancing were my whole life. So I have that background already in movement. And I think movement with dynamics and timing and stuff. And then when I got to college, I went into the dance program. And one of the other dancers that I was training with as a dancer and also performing with on stage, she was already dancing at Disneyland. And, she asked me, obviously because of my height, I am really tiny. I'm only 4'9". She's like, have you ever considered auditioning at Disneyland? It was like, wait, what? No, what's this? And so I went down, and as fate would have it, they had flyers for the Phantasmic audition for the original cast, and that was my first professional audition at 18, auditioning as a dancer for that show. So yeah, that's kind of how that all got started, and I do recommend for young performers, gymnastics, martial arts, acting class, dance class, all of it. The more well-rounded you are, the more you're able to really embody, multiple characters. So
Yeah, that's true. That's really the full body control. You're just not
yeah,
doing this. You are a full suit of puppetry or moving action.
yeah, it really does. It requires a tremendous amount of strength and also cardiovascular strength to handle the heat and the weight and the fact that they shut the character's mouth and there's no oxygen coming in. So you do have to be in very good shape.
That's so cool. Yeah, we have to say it. And I would just want to talk to the audience a moment. If you have a question for Misty, feel free to put it in the chat and we will bring it to her, and let's see how we have a big live conversation on this show. So next question is, it's really the crush. I often ask the crush for puppetry, the crush for, do you have a specific character you feel like you get this moment of, oh, I want to do this?
Oh man, I couldn't ever pick one because they're all, again, they're so different, but you have moments that are just really special because these characters, on The Mandalorian alone, Quill took, at one time it was me, the brilliant voice of Nick Nolte that we had on set with us, and then 3 other puppeteers. And so, you'll have moments where finally, after, we would tend to fumble a little bit and not be well in sync during some of the first few takes. But then there's this, I call it the mind meld that happens between body performance, artist and the puppeteers, that kind of just happens as you get a feel for what you're doing. So I think it's the collaboration that I love the most, that you have these magic moments where everything syncs up, and these characters that take so many people to bring to life, they look seamless, and they look, and you can feel, for them, even though they're either computer generated or, built in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, because that's true. You have someone like manipulate the eyes and the more little motion of the face from remote control on the side. So you really create this live all together.
Yes. Yeah, you collaborate. In between takes, my puppeteers will come up to me and give me air and water, and sometimes they could shove I don't know, like a snack or something in there too. I never really eat in costume, but sometimes, like when a scene is really physical, my blood sugar will drop and I'll get a little shaky. And especially on The Mandalorian, they have these sugary candies, and they just help you survive sometimes in those moments where you just need some quick sugar really quick. But yeah, they would come up to me and give me notes or ask if I wanted to try something a little different or a different timing. But yeah, it's just getting to collaborate with multiple artists, and they're fun and they're so good at what they do too. Yeah, it just feels like a special team to be a part of. So.
Yeah. And I'm curious about the wording also. We discussed by email on that. Where is the line, like for you as a suit performer, like where is the line that this become puppetry, in your opinion?
Oh gosh. I mean, puppeteers, like that was such a hard job. I remember being on the set of Sid the Science Kid, and one night it was for a rap party reel where we made this little video where it was called Wife Swap. And so our puppeteers went out onto the floor where, you know, we wear our mocap suits and we put our hands in their puppeteering rigs and tried to do that. It was the hardest thing ever. And I laughed more than I did what I was supposed to do with the face. It's each person brings their own specific skill. Like it's especially with what I do, I couldn't do what the puppeteers do. So it's very distinguished as far as you know, I get in the suits and I do that part of it. And then our puppeteers, we all just blend and mesh and come together and they do their part, which is magic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's interesting to see it that way. Like someone is in the suit and the puppetry is more like the facial or the details that brings more on. And that's the definition part. But I'm also curious with like new technology, as we see new technology, like you say, motion capture, CGI, and all of that stuff. Do you feel we are in an ascension of this kind of performance and art field?
I think that, you know, like anything, especially with technology, it's just going to continue to grow and become, you know, more technically solid. You know, sometimes I remember in the very beginning stage at the Jim Henson Company too, they would have trouble with the characters sometimes with too much movement and these outrigging pieces that we have to wear in order to maintain, you know, our distance for the actual character, which is, you know, we basically represent the skeleton and then the character is built over that. So Sid, he was about 2 to 3 times bigger than me, you know, in width and height and everything. And sometimes the markers would, I don't know what they would technically call it, but the character would just turn into this ball and just like, and so obviously then they'd have to stop the take and, you know, fix that. So, but as the years have gone on, that really doesn't even happen anymore. Our outrigging costume pieces have become smaller and smaller, including the shoes. That was a big thing for me. Just wear normal shoes now, just with the little marker balls everywhere. So yeah, it's constantly improving. So
that's true. That's so cool, and the improvement makes more opportunity to have some work. We have question from the audience. We have Jano who asked, like, she worked during do you work during this pandemic time?
No, we didn't. We did one job. It was, but it was super. It was challenging. Like we basically tested, I think 3 times a week, every week, and our little unit. Nobody went anywhere or did anything, just went back and forth to work. So we did do one job that finished up in January, but really at the very beginning of it, all the way last year, no jobs for me.
Yeah, it's a challenge even in Los Angeles, but it will get back on the road. And we have a longer question. Let me just bring it in the screen. It's Jackie who asked, yeah, when you did the Frog Lady hub running from the spiders, did you have to exaggerate a lot of the movement to make it come across looking like Hopi?
Well, actually, that's one of those technical advances. I did not do that part. My very good friends at ILM did that part. You know, when I was on set with my friend Hal Hickel, who is basically, he runs the show, he would come up to me and he's like, this is what we need from you in order to make that transition seamless, which is basically run, 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 run at a certain, point. I would have to go down as if I was going to start to do that. And then same thing coming out of it, do like 1 or 2 jumps. But ILM, who, again, they're technical geniuses, they did that for me because there's just no way. It was like hard enough just doing 1 or 2. It's like, oh my God. Yeah.
That's funny anecdote on the set to have. It's really interesting. And I want to ask you about your purpose as an artist. Like, what is your biggest thing you envision for your career? You see, you want to achieve.
Like there's a few things I want to, obviously do a few more roles if they're, if they present themselves to me. Because I love Grogu so much. I really actually want to be, I don't even care what the, creature or, would be, but I'd love to be one of his Jedi Master teachers, or be on Ahsoka. Like I've always been drawn to the Jedi. So something along that line. And then a very good friend of mine who's actually a phenomenal writer-director, she's pushing me right out of my suits. And I'm actually doing a supporting role in her film coming up. So yeah, just more of the same. And I would actually like to start teaching, younger people how to do this. So there's, really skilled performance artists, seat performers coming up. So it just keeps going.
Yeah, to transmit your knowledge also. It's part of the job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's true because you sing also, like, and you dance. So I want also to know, do you feel at some point you will be able to integrate all of those talent like in one show?
Yeah, I mean, this new character that Amanda wrote not for me, but it's a character that, she's tried, thrown some things in. We're hoping that one of my songs will be in one of the scenes. But it's funny because I will get to sing it and she wants me to sing it awful because my character doesn't know how to sing. And I get to dance and I'm, my roommates were helping me. I was like, what can be the most funny, like comical, awkward dance moves to do? Because I really do. I just want people to laugh and have fun. So yeah, and that is a dream of mine to be able to place some of my songs in movies and TV, like especially movies, independent films. Some of my songs are, they have a lot of feels in them. So to have a song be a part of a scene where a character is going through a lot and, the whole of the scene comes together with all of those creative arts, that's a big one for me. So.
Yeah. I want to see that. Let's do it. Yes, and we have Jackie who approve. Like it would be awesome to hear your music in the movie.
Thank you, Jackie.
I want to ask you, where do you see your feel of performing as motion capture and suit performance? Where do you see it in 10 years?
Just evolving as it has. I had no idea being a suit performer. I started with Stan Winston Studios, and then as he had passed on, that his studio turned into Legacy Effects, and I had no idea there was this other performance art realm in the motion capture field. So I feel like it's just, as humans do, it'll just continue to evolve. I am really happy though that they kind of brought back suit performance and practical builds, especially on Star Wars and The Mandalorian, because it's just, I love it. Personally, I like to see people in these suits. It's tangible. It's there. It's on set. And, all of the artists that are a part of those teams bring so much heart and soul to the performance. So I love both. They both make me super happy, and I laugh a lot. So I'm just hoping that as technology continues to better and better, it's performance art. It'll just go along too.
Yeah, and I think the fan really enjoyed that, especially in Star Wars, the fact that puppetry was more there than in, like, at some point it's getting up and down, but I feel you maybe received some response also from that.
I did. It was really actually unexpected. From the discipline of suit performer, and I've said it in the past, I always want people to remember the character, not me, not the person under the suit. It's the character that needs to be memorable. So I've never minded at all, kind of just being in the, not the spotlight. So, but, I knew something was very different the day after episode 1 of season 1 of The Mandalorian premiered. And it was a gentleman from Italy that, like, he posted on Instagram and tagged me and had a picture, like a full body length picture of Quill and a full body length picture of me. And it's like, this person is in the suit. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So, because everybody was keeping it much more quiet. They wanted that to still be part of the movie making magic, and I was fine with that. So, but it's the performance artist credit that they gave me that, again, I was not expecting, that changed things a little bit for me.
Yeah, it must have helped the career and everything, the fact that people could make a name behind this performance.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's kind of something interesting to have to deal with, like the celebrity, but it's a character, but it's you. But I get you.
Yeah. It's been new for me. So, but I'm having fun with it. Everybody is so nice. And I think if you put positive energy out there, it just comes back to you. So
yeah, you are a positive person. Like, I really feel you want to send positivity to the world. Yeah, here we have Jado who say patience and love in this time. Yeah,
thank you. You too. Stay safe out there, and hold back a little longer, I think.
Yeah, and for the conclusion, Misty, do you have something to show to the audience? Sometimes we have an object or thing that means something in our career that you can bring in front of the camera for the audience.
I mean, I just have the little gifts that people have given me from my characters. My friend Tyler, it's from a Facebook page. They're card collectors. He actually gave this to me. It's the, action figure. And he's like, have you ever been one? It's like, once, I believe that, but it was for Congo. And of course, I've got, another Quill back there, and my frog lady. That's been one of my favorite things is the artists, and all of their creations. This was done by an artist named Candace Daly, and they just make beautiful things. And as you can see, my little girl goes back there. I'm hoping to get, like I said, somehow, some way be just one of his teachers, one of the people that helps him along the way on his journey. So.
Yeah, that's true. And that's true that your performance inspire other artists to create some of those stuff, as you say.
Yeah. So that's been incredibly special. I've never experienced that before. And their paintings and their drawings and their sketches are so beautiful. And I remember Ashley Marsh, it was the first one, and I didn't understand what was happening, but she had tagged me in a post where she was literally showing her drawing, and it was a drawing of me, and it was like, no one's ever painted me. It was crazy. I was just like, what is happening? So I cherish that gift. So.
Yeah, getting fans and like admiration, or it's like an acknowledgement of your work, and it's powerful.
Yeah, it does. It really means a lot to me. And I think that, if you just the only way that I can ever encourage people is just keep checking in with yourself and um, go in the direction of what makes you happy, what you would enjoy doing every day, not even for any other reason, just for the sheer enjoyment of it, because that's what opens all the doors. I mean, the best example I can give is I was up here in LA and I was dancing, and I thought for sure I was going to be able to get signed with a dance company, a dance agency, and I didn't know that my height would be such an issue, but it is. Like, 5'2" is the shortest of short dancers, and I'm way below that. So I stopped dancing for a while. And my mom, always listen to your mom. They're very wise. She's like, "Why aren't you dancing anymore?" It's like, well, if I want to stay here in this town, I've got to, go in the direction of how am I going to stay here and work? It's like, oh. And she's like, well, I think you should go back to class just for you, for your heart, for your soul, because you love it. And I did. And sure enough, like a year later, I actually went and auditioned for a dance company. And I became part of that dance company and got to do the Nutcracker and this show called The Circus of Love, which is a very emotional show. So again, it has to come back always to your heart, and just make sure you love what you do and enjoy it. So, because that's what brings smiles to people's faces. So.
Wow, that's such a good statement. I think we can take that as a quote, like it's so spiritual at the same time. I love it.
Yeah, it has to be everything, because like when you're on set and you're exhausted and like physical tears are coming down your face because you're in your head you're going, you have to be tough, you have to be strong, handle it, but your body's like, no more. Like, I did have a day on season 1, and I'll never forget one of the puppeteers, Trevor Hensley, like because Queel, like I have makeup around my under eye and my eyelid, and I was like physically sort of fine. Mentally, it was like, handle it, you're fine. But it's just, I couldn't explain. It's like, I'm so sorry. And it's just like exhaustion, like pouring out my eyeballs, and having to dab it. And I kept apologizing. He's like, it's okay. It's like, I know, I'm just trying to breathe. So yeah, that's
we have Kevin to say, go Misty, yeah.
Oh, Kevin. Oh my gosh, Kevin. I met Kevin when, we were on Congo, and now he just is going crazy. Like, his short film is just winning awards all over the world as a puppeteer. Oh my God, I can't. Yeah, he's amazing. Hi, Kevin.
Yay. It's so cool to connect people together. And Misty, if people want to know more about you, want to like reach you, to see your work, where they should go and watch?
It just depends. I guess probably the best place to really see everything that I do all together is YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. All of my music, my first album and the 2 singles that I've done are on there, including some of the lyric videos. And then I finally, that time, was able to create my demo reels. So it kind of, there's a performance artist one, as well as like an actor, action actor reel. So YouTube, I'm on, all of it, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So yeah.
Yeah, reach everywhere.
Yeah.
So we have Rick, Cindy, who say, you and your mom are both very wise. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah. We have Katya who say, I'm late, but I'm there. I'm here.
Hi, Katya.
Yeah, we are almost at the end. But yeah, Misty, I want to say thank you to you. And for the people who are watching right now, do you have some last positivity message as you just dropped before for the conclusion?
We're all creators here. Every single one of us. So again, I encourage everybody that it's really never too late to really seek out and find the thing that you love to do, because joy, every second of your day, is really, really important. And there is no time frame, there is no time limit. I mean, I'm in my 40s, come on. So if you had asked me in my teens and 20s would I think I'd be here now? No way. But to all the young ones, take the pressure off of yourself, take the journey, and create, even if it's a little thing or, every day, and have fun, lead with love.
Yes, live with love and create. I love it. I love it. Misty, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
Yeah, and now, it's the time to remove you off the screen. That's the moment. So it's a bit of a stop.
Okay.
So I will push you, but Misty, stay in the virtual studio. We chat after this.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Yay! Everyone, thank you for watching. That was an amazing interview. I got a blast, and I learned about those difference about in collaboration of puppetry and suit performance. Yeah, we have Kevin who clap. Yay, thank you. Applause, Misty. Yeah. And if you want to know more about puppetry, about art, we have this Patreon that we share and we cherish. And here is the address. So feel free to have a look and support us as we put some stuff to stimulate the creativity, to just bring hope, and also some tools about marketing for puppetry, to have puppetry all over the place on social media. So that's the purpose of the Puppet Podcast. So everyone, I wish you a wonderful evening, afternoon, night if you are in UK. Also, it's maybe the middle of the night, but I wish you the best. And let's stay in touch. Next week, we have other episode from someone of Hawaii. So let's stay in touch for Puppet Podcast. Bye-bye.